Ezer Kenegdo. Okay, guys, we are going to talk about Ezer Kenegdo today. And what is it? Okay, in Hebrew, okay, if we go to the Hebrew words, Ezer Kenegdo, you're going to come in with basically a lot of different definitions, basically three really interesting definitions where it can be used for a woman, like in Genesis 2:18 and Genesis 2:20, or it can be used in reference to nations. Where like Israel appealed for military aid, and they used it there, like in Isaiah 35 or Ezekiel 12:14, Daniel 11:34. But Azar is also used for Yahweh as Israel's helper. It's used for God, for Israel's helper, and you can read that like in Exodus 18 verse 4, and Deuteronomy 33 through 29, or Psalms, even chapter 20 verse 2, 33:20, chapter 70 verse 5, 89 verse 19, then 115 from 9 to verse 11, Psalms 121 verse 1 and 2, Psalms 124 verses 8, 146 verse 5, and Hosea 13 verses 9. So what the verses all have in common is that Azar is used consistently in a military context. So Azar is something like a warrior. So women, that would mean like we're warriors. Okay? And then you have the word Kenegdo. And Kenegdo is a Hebrew word, and what it means is opposite as to him, or as corresponding to him. So we're opposite. We're corresponding. We're opposite. So, and he said he'll make a helpmeet that is complementary to a man. So we're complementary to a man. So we're a strong warrior that's complementary to a man. Anyway, but we're opposite to him. And in other words, we're no better than, and we're no less than man. And a man is no better than or no less than a woman. We are equally and uniquely created as a perfect fit for each other. And a good way to describe that would be, let's see. Okay, you got your hands. You got a left hand and a right hand. All right? They both work the same. They both it's all in one body. You got your one body with a left arm and hand, with a right arm and hand, and they both work the same. All right, you got your thumbs and your fingers, but they're quite opposite. They both work the same. They both look the same. They both have the same type job, but they work opposite, really. And I'm going to look at it in that way. Because we're hearing the word complementary, but a lot of people they don't want to recognize that part, because they forget that the part, when you're complementary to a man, it's not what we are, it's not what we're doing, and it's not what we're becoming. We were born to be complementary. We were born to be these strong warriors in this sense of a word. And I'm not trying to say that we can go whoop men. That's not the strength I'm talking about here. But anyway, what this also means is, because we have the two hands also, we don't have to, it don't take, just like with each other, it don't take a man in our lives to make us whole. an opposite and vice versa. It doesn't take somebody to make us whole. In other words, that's not what makes us a complete person. All right? Because we still are, but still at the same token, we can be complete with the right person. And I know that might not make sense to a lot of people, but really, and I said that because a lot of people are put into their heads right now, we're not complete without a spouse. But the fact of the matter is we can be complete without them. But we can also be complete with one, the right one. But with or without, we're still Father Yah's beloved daughters. We're still the warriors, the princesses. And there's nothing that that's going to change that. There's nothing that can take that power that away from us, because Ezer Kenegdo, that's who we are. We're complementary to a male, to our husbands. Our husbands are with us. We submit. And again, and I'm going to come back to the arms and the hands. See, we're like two hands. There's a left hand, there's a right hand, and in ways they're the same, but they're different. We all have bones, the muscles, the veins, the skins, the nails, and you have the fingers and a thumb, and on each hand you have a left hand and a right hand, and are the exact opposite from each other. But one hand is not more important to the other than the other one. Now you might have one that's a little bit stronger, and that's where I see it, where Father says, the woman's the weaker vessel in there. I mean, my right hand might be stronger than my left hand. And basically that's what we use as my preferred hand. It's my right hand. But I can also perfectly use the other hand too. I can use it on my own, because I can use both my hands, both my arms. I can write like with both hands. I can do that, but not everybody can do that. See, so but anyway, I'm getting off track. Okay, but you have a more dominant hand. See, like the right hand, for instance, you might be able to do more. You write more with it. It's a little bit stronger, but it's the hand, and you can still use the hand on its own to do what it needs to do. And then you can also use your opposite hand along to do the things it needs to do. But together, your hands can do more. Because together, your hands are stronger. And this is together, the one hand can complement the other hand, because if you try to lift something with one hand, there's a possibility you can't lift it because it's too weak. But then you have both hands together, and you can lift that same heavy weight. You can lift it together. Basically, you can get more done with less effort when you're using both hands together. So, of course, you're using both hands. You're opposite. You're using your opposite to work together. Okay? And that's kind of the way I see it. Spouses are like the two hands. And this is the way I think that it's kind of meant to be. We work together. The husband works together with the spouse, with his spouse, with his wife, and opposite. And sometimes there is, you do have a hand that's stronger. But the opposite hand can help the hand that's stronger lift a heavy weight, just the same as the stronger hand can help the opposite hand lift their heavy weight. You got to work together, complementary. It's complementary. it's not a, you're not, look, men and women both got to understand, we done have daddies and we done have a God. We don't need either. We need husbands. Okay? See, our purpose and our true identity is found in these words. Ezer Kenegdo. And they're found in them words. In the scriptures. And it's been misinterpreted by a lot of people. Again, especially women. But Father Yah, He made us to be, because He says, I will make him a helper comparable to him or to complement him. This is what He said. It's our right hand and our left hand. That's what it is. It's not, it's women are being punished by being a man's slave because she eat off of because she was deceived. She's not being punished by being a man's slave. She's not supposed to be a man's slave. She is a man. She's made to be complementary, to be comparable to them, to be a complement, to be a strong warrior, a princess, a strong warrior, and to work together, but it is opposite. It's quite opposite. And anytime we start kind of getting confused about things, just hold up your hands. Husbands and wife, just put your hands into each other's hands. You see all these pictures where the man and a woman, when they get married, they'll hold hands afterwards, or they'll hold hands. See, you hold hands because you're uniting as one also. You are complementing each other. You are making a statement of what your marriage is about. You both are taking hands because each hand is the same. Each hand has his fingers and his thumbs, and in general, you know what I mean. And they're opposite of each other. Even though they're the same, they still complement each other because it takes both to working together to lift the heavy weight that's too heavy for one to lift alone. Each does his own thing. See, you're in one body, complementing each other, working together. So even though you might each has his own task, y'all got to do the task together. So you complement each other. You be a compliment. Okay. I know I've said that quite a few times, but I think it's because I want to get, I want people to understand how important it is to correctly identify the role. Not to misinterpret it. So that way you can live up to your full potential. So you can be the spouse that you're supposed to be. Nobody is an underdog. Nobody is. Woman, you're not less than a man. Man, a woman's not less than you. But woman, a man's not less than you either. Man, you're not less than a woman either. You're equal. Even though one is a left hand and one is a right hand, you're still on the same body. And it still takes both hands to lift a load that's too heavy for one by itself. So, hold hands, start carrying the load. All right. Good night. Love, hugs. This is Crystal because of you. Crystal's connections because of you. Father, watch over him and help him. And I really wish I could find where I was reading them verses at, y'all. I looked them up, but anyway, some person, Gimena. I got a lot of the information off of them, but that's all they say is Gimena is their name, and in February they wrote on my birthday, February 22nd. So, but as far as that, I don't have any more information to give them the credit when they've looked up all the scriptures and were they had the idea, and I thought it was a beautiful idea. It made a lot of perfect sense, but anyway, maybe one of y'all can find it, and then if you can, tag it on the bottom so the right person can get the credit for their work, okay? Anyway, love, hugs, y'all. Don't forget to pray.